And for a bit more on how investigators might try to look into the mind of this latest rampage shooter, we can turn now to Dr. Jens Hoffmann. He's a criminal psychologist who has studied lone wolf attackers. He joins us from Darmstadt. Now, after hearing what has become known to the public about this young man, does he fit the profile of mass shooters as we know it?
Yeah, he fits the profile perfectly. So what we see that those offenders, they're obsessed with other offenders before them. And then they see that what we call a cultural script. So the school shooters starting in 1999 in Columbine, and they created a cultural script that is followed through in different countries, and that happens unfortunately very often in Germany. So that young man that we see now, the information revealed that he went to a shooting, school, it was a school shooting before, these are all signs of fixation on such incidents.
All right, let's talk about this script, as it were. I mean, what are the feelings that these shooters have as they're following this script, as they're planning their attacks?
Yeah, very often the young guys feels helpless, they have problems with their self-worth, and then they have the idea to start such a shooting. They have the fantasies, and then they start the planning, they do the preparation, like getting the gun, what we heard here in the report, and then they have a feeling of power, and then they feel themselves they are someone, and the fantasy that if they do the shooting, there will be a news report all over the world, like we are discussing now about that. A young man gives them a feeling of there's now sense in my life.
All right, now, whenever crimes like this happen, a lot of people do call for better psychiatric treatment. I mean, this shooter appears to have been institutionalized, at least for a time. But, you know, you're a psychologist. What can you say to a troubled young man who's considering a kind of violent attack to kind of walk him back?
These offenders are very often mentally unstable, but mental illness is not the cause for the attack. That's very important, I think. It's some sort of sign that they're destabilized. What we need are local networks where mental health institutions, where police, where schools work closely together. This is the threat assessment, threat management approach. And those local communities have the best opportunity to get some sort of hands on young men who are in trouble and who are thinking about committing violent act, because they speak to others. Very often they give some sort of leakage, that's how it's called, in the internet, and that's a very powerful tool for the prevention of such terrible shootings as we have seen here in Munich.
All right. Dr. Jens Hoffmann, thanks so much for joining us from Darmstadt.
Thank you.